Good morning, I waited family. So it is day 30, and today we're reading Exodus 36 through 37, or 36 through 38. I saw 36 and 37 in my Bible. And we're reading through those three chapters today. So we're almost through the month of January, like literally. So today and tomorrow, and then we start February. And I believe Exodus has how many chapters? I think it's 50, like Genesis. Oh, no, not 50. 40. So we'll be done with this chapter tomorrow. And on the 1st, which is appropriate, we start Leviticus. So I want to go ahead and open up in prayer, and then we'll get started with our reading. God, I thank you for this day. God, I thank you for the opportunity to read your word. God, I thank you for the freedom to read your word. And I pray, God, that you would meet us here as we commune with you in the reading of your word, God. And I pray that you would continue to show us what you want us to see, God, through your word. Give us eyes to see. Give us ears to hear, God. Give us a heart to receive. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. All right, let's get it. So it says, chapter 36, Exodus. The Lord has gifted Bezalel, Oholiab, and the other skilled craftsmen with wisdom and ability to perform any task involved in building the sanctuary. Let them construct and furnish the tabernacle just as the Lord has commanded. So Moses summoned Bezalel and Oholiab and all the others who were specially gifted by the Lord and were eager to get to work. Moses gave them the materials donated by the people of Israel as sacred offerings for the completion of the sanctuary. But the people continued to bring additional gifts each morning. They were so moved to give. As we saw yesterday, they gave free will offerings and just everything that they could bring. Excuse me. Finally, the craftsmen who were working on the sanctuary left their work. They went to Moses and reported, "The people have given more than enough materials to complete the job the Lord has commanded us to do." Imagine if we gave God more than he was asking in order to complete the work that he needed us to do. So Moses gave the command, and this message was sent throughout the camp. Men and women, don't prepare any more gifts for the sanctuary. We have enough. So the people stopped bringing the sacred offerings. Their contributions were more than enough to complete the whole project. Good morning. We're reading through Exodus 36 if you want to follow along. So we're on verse 8. It says, building the tabernacle. The skilled craftsman made 10 curtains of finely woven linen for the tabernacle. Then Bezalel decorated the curtains with blue, purple, and scarlet thread and with skillfully embroidered cherubims. All 10 curtains were exactly the same size, 42 feet long and 6 feet wide. 5 of those curtains were joined together to make one long curtain, and the other 5 were joined to make a second long curtain. He made 50 loops of blue yarn and put them along the edge of the last curtain in each set. The 50 loops along the edge of one curtain matched the 50 loops along the edge of the other curtain. Then he made 50 gold clasps and fastened the long curtains together with the clasp. In this way, the tabernacle was made of one continuous piece. He made 11 curtains of goat hair cloth to serve as a tent covering for the tabernacle. These 11 curtains were all exactly the same size, 45 feet long and 6 feet wide. Bezalel joined 5 of these curtains together to make one long curtain, and the other 6 were joined to make a second long curtain. He made 50 loops for the edge of each large curtain. He also made 50 bronze clasps to fasten the long curtains together. In this way, the tent covering was made of one continuous piece. Morning, Aish. We're reading Exodus 36, and we're on verse 19 if you want to follow along. He completed the tent covering with a layer of tanned ram skins and a layer of fine goat skin leather. For the framework of the tabernacle, Bezalel constructed frames of acacia wood. Each frame was 15 feet high and 27 inches wide, with 2 pegs under each frame. All the frames were identical. He made 20 of these frames to support the curtains on the south side of the tabernacle. He also made 40 silver bases, 2 bases under each frame, with the pegs fitting securely into the bases. For the north side of the tabernacle, he made another 20 frames, with their 40 silver bases, 2 bases under each frame. He made 6 frames for the rear, the west side of the tabernacle, along with 2 additional frames to reinforce the rear corners of the tabernacle. These corner frames were matched at the bottom and firmly attached at the top with a single ring, forming a single corner unit. Both of these corner units were made the same way. So there were 8 frames at the rear of the tabernacle, set in 16 silver bases, 2 bases under each frame. Then he made crossbars of acacia wood to link the frames, 5 crossbars for the north side of the tabernacle and 5 for the south side. He also made 5 crossbars for the rear of the tabernacle, which faced west. He made the middle crossbar to attach halfway up the frames. It ran all the way from one end of the tabernacle to the other. He overlaid the frames with gold and made gold rings to hold the crossbars. Then he overlaid the crossbars with gold as well. For the inside of the tabernacle, Bezalel made a special curtain of finely woven linen. He decorated with blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and with skillfully embroidered cherubim. For the curtain he made 4 posts of acacia wood and 4 gold hooks. He overlaid the posts with gold and set them in 4 silver bases. Then he made another curtain for the entrance to the sacred tent. He made it of finely woven linen and embroidered it with exquisite designs using the blue, purple, and scarlet thread. This curtain was hung on gold hooks attached to 5 posts. The posts with their decorated tops and hooks were overlaid with gold, and the 5 bases were cast from bronze. In chapter 37, building the Ark of the Covenant. Next, Bezalel made the Ark of acacia wood, a sacred chest 45 inches long, 27 inches wide, and 27 inches high. He overlaid it inside and out with pure gold, and he ran a molding of gold all around it. He cast 4 gold rings and attached them to its 4 feet, 2 rings on each side. Then he made poles from acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. He inserted the poles into the rings at the side of the ark to cover it. Then he made the ark's cover, the place of atonement, from pure gold. It was 45 inches long and 27 inches wide. He made 2 cherubim from hammered gold and placed them on the 2 ends of the atonement cover. He molded the cherubim on each end of the atonement cover, making it all one piece of gold. The cherubim faced each other and looked down on the atonement cover. With their wings spread above, they protected it. This is building the table. Then Bezalel made the table of acacia wood, 36 inches long, 28 inches wide, and 27 inches high. He overlaid it with pure gold and ran a gold molding around the edge. He decorated it with a 3-inch border all around, and he ran a gold molding along the border. Then he cast 4 gold rings for the table and attached them at the 4 corners next to the 4 legs. The rings were attached near the border to hold the poles that were used to carry the table. He made these poles from acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. Then he made special containers of pure gold for the table, bowls, ladles, jars, and pitchers, to be used in pouring out liquid offerings. Building the lampstand. Then Bezalel made the lampstand of pure hammered gold. He made the entire lampstand and its decoration of one piece: the base, center, stem, lamp cups, buds, and petals. The lampstand had 6 branches going out from the center stem, 3 on each side. Like the specificity of like these designs is crazy. The center stem of the lampstand was crafted with 4 lamp cups, shaped like almond blossoms, complete with buds and petals. There was an almond bud beneath each pair of branches where the 6 branches extended from the center stem, all made of one piece. The almond buds and branches were all one piece with the center stem, and they were hammered from pure gold. He also made 7 lamps for the lampstand, lamp snuffers, and trays, all of pure gold. The entire lampstand, along with its accessories, was made from 75 pounds of pure gold. First of all, that lets you know how much money the people of God had, because 75 pounds of pure gold, and this is all of the stuff that the people brought into God's temple for his temple to be built. So building the incense altar. Then Bezalel made the incense altar of acacia wood. It was 18 inches square and 36 inches high, with horns at the corners carved from the same piece of wood as the altar itself. He overlaid the top, sides, and horns of the altar with pure gold. And he ran a gold molding around the entire altar. He made 2 gold rings and attached them on the opposite sides of the altar below the gold molding to hold the carrying poles. He made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. Then he made the sacred anointing oil and the fragrant incense using the techniques of a skilled incense maker. This is chapter 38, and it's building the altar of burnt offering. Next, Bezalel used acacia wood to construct the square altar of burnt offering. It was 7.5 feet wide, 7.5 feet long, and 4.5 feet high. He made horns for each of its 4 corners so that the horns and altar were all one piece. He overlaid the altar with bronze. Then he made all the altar utensils of bronze, the ash buckets, shovel, basins, meat forks, and fire pans. Next, he made a bronze grating and installed it halfway down the side of the altar under the ledge. He cast 4 rings and attached them to the corners of the bronze grating to hold the carrying poles. He made the poles from acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. He inserted the poles through the rings on the sides of the altar. The altar was hollow and made from planks. Building the wash basin. Bezalel made the bronze wash basin and its bronze stand from bronze mirrors, that's a lot of bronze, donated by the women who served at the entrance of the tabernacle. Building the courtyard. Then Bezalel made the courtyard, which was enclosed with curtains made of finely woven linen. On the south side, the curtains were 150 feet long. They were held up by 20 poles set securely in 20 bronze bases. He hung the curtains with silver hooks and rings. He made a similar set of curtains for the north side, 150 feet of curtains held up by 20 posts set securely in bronze bases. He hung the curtains with silver hooks and rings. The curtains on the west side of the courtyard were 75 feet long, hung with silver hooks and rings and supported by 10 posts and set into 10 bases. The east and the front was also 75 feet long. The courtyard entrance was on the east end, flanked by 2 curtains. The curtain on the right side was 22.5 feet long and was supported by 3 posts set into 3 bases. The curtain on the left side was also 22.5 feet long and was supported by 3 posts set into 3 bases. All the curtains used in the courtyard were made of finely woven linen. Each post had a bronze base, and all the hooks and rings were silver. The tops of the posts of the courtyard were overlaid with silver, and the rings to hold up the curtains were made of silver. He made the curtain for the entrance to the courtyard of finely woven linen, and he decorated it with beautiful embroidery in blue, purple, and scarlet thread. So that seems to be the main colors. And I believe I read something before that said blue, purple, and scarlet, you only had those types of colors because colored clothing was like for rich people. So that also just shows the what's the word? Like the royalty in all of this. It was supported by 4 posts, each set securely in its own bronze base. The top of the posts were overlaid with silver, and the hooks and the rings were also made of silver. All the tent pegs used in the tabernacle and courtyard were made of bronze. Inventory of materials. Hi, good morning. This is an inventory of the materials used in building the tabernacle of the covenant. The Levites compiled the figures as Moses directed And Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest, served as recorder. Bezalel, son of Uri, grandson of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made everything just as the Lord had commanded Joseph. He was assisted by Oholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, a craftsman expert at engraving, designing, and embroidering with blue, purple, and scarlet thread on the fine linen cloth. The people brought special offerings of gold totaling 2,193 pounds, sheesh, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. This gold was used throughout the tabernacle. The whole community of Israel gave 7,545 pounds of silver, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. This silver came from the tax collected from each man registered in the census. The tax is 1 beka, which is half a shekel, based on the sanctuary shekel. The tax was collected from 603,550 men who had reached their 20th birthday. The 100 bases for the frames of the sanctuary walls and for the posts supporting the inner curtain required 7,500 pounds of silver, about 75 pounds for each base. The remaining 45 pounds of silver was used to make the hooks and rings and overlay the tops of the posts. The people also brought a special offering, 5,310 pounds of bronze, which was used for casting the bases for the posts at the entrance to the tabernacle, and for the bronze altar with its bronze grating and all the altar utensils. Bronze was also used to make the bases for the posts that supported the curtains around the courtyard, the base for the curtain at the entrance of the courtyard, and all the tent pegs for the tabernacle and the courtyard. They used a lot of gold, a lot of bronze, a lot of this purple and scarlet yarn, I'm guessing, linen. But the main thing I think that stood out for me was the fact that in chapter 36, where it says the people gave more than enough to complete God's work. Like, if we could give more than God was asking us and to do his work, I just can't imagine like where we would be as a people, as a church, as a body. So I'm going to do like I do after I get off the broadcast. I always go back and kind of underline all of the things that I saw while reading the word. But I just pray that the word is blessing you all this year, and just keep at it. Like, some mornings I don't read at 7:30, so I don't get to read until that night, especially if, I think it was yesterday morning, I woke up late. So I read during my lunchtime. So just I said, God, this year I'm going to relentlessly pursue you, like literally pursue God, until he just answers me about some things that I'm praying about. And I believe in order to do that, we have to literally seek his face every day, even when we don't feel like it, even when we don't feel like praying, even when we don't feel like reading the word. And the moments when I don't see myself like reading the word myself, I put my Bible app on and I let it read to me, and then I kind of just follow along. And even in that, it's so effective because I'm listening and I'm reading along silently, but I also see so many things that I maybe wouldn't see just reading on my own. So I pray that you all are being blessed. You can join us still in the Bible app where we're having discussions there. And I hope you guys have a great day. Love y'all. Bye.